County Public Schools Secondary ESOL Newcomer. Welcome. My name is Miss Hanson and I work in the office of ESOL. Let's start working on learning more English. This is lesson number 6. Have a look at today's outcome. Read it to yourself or to somebody near you. So what are we going to do today? We're going to evaluate. And what will we evaluate? An informational text. Why will we do that? In order to identify reasons why clean water is not available to everyone. So today we're going to read information to find out reasons why some people in the world do not have easy access to clean water. So before we read, let's think about some things. Where do you get your water from? Here's one place I get my water from, and that is the faucet in my kitchen. This morning, I had a shower, another place that I get water from. But what would happen if you couldn't get your water this way? Have you got any idea? Well, you might have to take one of these gallon containers. This person here has 3 of them. Where do you think they're heading to? Where are they going? Yeah, probably where these girls are. They're probably going to the local stream or river or pond or well or maybe even lake in order to fill the gallon jugs up with water. So let's have a look at this infographic. This tells us about water use around the world. So in the United States, and here we are in Maryland, but in the whole of the United States, an average person uses 156 gallons of water a day. In France, France is a country in Europe, people use on average 77 gallons of water a day. In India, which is a country in Southeast Asia, people on average use 38 gallons of water a day. And lastly, in Mali, which is a country in Western Africa, people generally use around 3 gallons of water a day. So, how many gallons a day does someone in the USA use? That's right, 156 gallons. Can you say that number? 156. How many gallons a day does someone in Mali use? Correct, 3 gallons a day. So, 156 gallons in the US, 3 gallons in Mali. So how many more gallons a day does someone in the US use than someone in Mali? And as you're working that out, think about why. Why do they use 3 gallons in Mali and 156 gallons in the USA? So we have 156 minus 3, and what would that be? If we take 3 from 6, we've got 3, so 153 gallons difference. In the USA, people use 153 more gallons a day than someone in Mali. Can you think about why? Why do they use so much more water in the USA per person than in Mali? We're going to read about that, but before we do, let's have a look at some vocabulary. So I'm going to say the word, and then I want you to repeat the word. And as you're saying it, look at the image to help you understand the meaning of the word. So the first word is sewage. Sewage. This is the wastewater that comes from our bathrooms and our homes that we no longer use. Pollution. Pollution. Does pollution look positive or negative to you? I agree. It does not look good. Here we have pollution going into the air, and here we have pollution in the water. Next we have construction. Construction. Here we have a man who is working in construction. He is helping to build a building. Next we have manufacturing. Manufacturing. Here in a factory, people are manufacturing new pieces of equipment. The next word is reduce. Reduce. Where is the arrow pointing? That's right, it's pointing down. If we reduce something, we make it less. We make it smaller. It's going down. Then we have waste. Waste. What is the faucet doing? The faucet is giving us water. Did someone turn the faucet off? Or is it on? Yeah, it's on. And here you can see it says wastes up to 4 gallons of water. So when you brush your teeth, you might be wasting gallons and gallons of water. And remember, in a country like Mali, people use around 3 gallons of water a day, so less than the amount of water that you use to brush your teeth if you waste the water and you don't turn off the faucet. Next, we have healthcare. Healthcare. Here we have doctors and nurses. They make sure that we have good health care, especially at the moment during the coronavirus. We're very aware of our health care. Next, we have city. City. So in the picture, we can see one city. If we have more than one, it becomes plural. So the Y is changed to IES. Cities. Cities. Then we have climate change. Climate change. If we look at the picture, we have green grass, blue skies, sun shining. It looks very nice. It looks beautiful. But on the other side, there's no more grass. It's become dry. There is no water. There is a drought. The sky becomes brown because of all the dust storms. Remember we learned about that in an earlier lesson? And lastly, we have quality. Quality. Here we have different forms of quality. We've got excellent, which is very positive, very, very good. Then we have good, average, and poor. So if something is high quality, it is excellent. If it is low quality, it is poor. Now let's read the 3 paragraphs. Before we read, let's have a look at these images. What is happening to the number of people here? It's getting greater, it's expanding, it's increasing, it's getting bigger. Here we have water in a pot on the stovetop being used for cooking. And here we have water going into a bathtub. So let's read paragraph 1. Population expansion. Here is what happens with population expansion when we have more and more people. So today there are approximately 8 billion. Look at this number, 8 billion. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros after the 8. 8 billion people in the world. This is a result of larger family sizes and access to better healthcare and lifestyles. This means that use of water for drinking, cleaning, cooking, and sewage, so bathroom and water waste, has tripled. That means it has increased by 3 times. Humans waste more water than ever before. Paragraph 2. So if you look at this picture here, what is happening to the city? Is it getting smaller or bigger? That's right, it's getting bigger. It's expanding. Urbanisation. So another word for urban is city. They mean the same thing. They are synonyms. So urbanization means cities are growing and expanding more than ever before. Cities also tend to hold more people than towns and villages. More people means there is an increased need to take care of sewage, cleaning, construction, and manufacturing. So paragraph 3, let's look at the pictures here. So here we have a very dry scene. There is no water. It looks like there is drought. Here we have too much water. We have flooding, which means the water we do have can become polluted and contaminated and is not safe to drink. And lastly, here we can see that the water is becoming polluted and contaminated. So let's read paragraph 3. Climate change and pollution. All over the world, places that used to have lots of rainfall do not have enough rain, and dry places are suddenly getting colder and wetter. This is due to climate change. So here we have drought and here we have flooding. Both cases result in clean water shortage, so not enough clean water. Water, air, and land pollution reduce water quality. Pollution makes water dirty, so there is not enough clean water to drink. Okay, so we have read the informational text, and now we want to list 3 reasons why clean water is not available for everyone in the world. So, first paragraph, we learned that humans waste more water than ever before. More people mean more water is used for sewage, cleaning, construction, and manufacturing. Number 2, climate change results in some places becoming wetter and others becoming drier, which can both result in clean water shortage. And number 3, water, air, and land pollution reduce water quality, which means less clean water is available. So why do many people in the world not have access to clean water? Because in some countries we waste water. Climate change means that we don't have access to as much clean water. And pollution reduces water quality, which means we have less access to clean water. So have a look at today's outcome again. So students will be able to evaluate an informational text. Did we do that? Yes, we did. In order to identify reasons why clean water is not available to everyone. And we did that too. Do you remember the 3 reasons we looked at? So the first one was that people waste water. The second one was climate change. And the third one was pollution. Great job, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye. Baltimore County Public Schools Secondary ESOL Newcomer. Welcome. My name is Miss Hanson and I work in the office of ESOL. Let's start working on learning more English. This is lesson number 7. Have a look at today's outcome. Read it to yourself or to somebody near you. So what are we going to do today? That's right, we're going to apply our knowledge of water scarcity in order to write a letter to the United Nations. And why are we going to do that? Because we want to request access to clean water for all people. So the United Nations, here is a picture of the United Nations headquarters in New York City. Sometimes it's referred to as the UN. So the U here and the N here. The United Nations has 193 member states and it can take action on problems in the world. So, if it can take action on problems, hopefully that means it can solve problems. So, what problem could we write to the United Nations about? Do you remember the last lesson, lesson number 6? What was the problem? Lack of access to clean water. So remember we looked at different countries in the world? We looked at the United States, and the average person in the United States uses 156 gallons of water a day. But in Mali, the average person only uses around 3 gallons of water a day. That's because they have lack of access to clean water. So let's see if we can write a letter to the United Nations to solve or take action on the problem of lack of access to clean water. So here is an overview of a letter. So the first thing that you would do at the top right-hand side of your letter is you would write your name. Underneath your name, you would write your address where you live. Then on the left-hand side, underneath your address, you would write the United Nations address because we are writing to the United Nations. Underneath that, you would put today's date. And then you would put the greeting. Now, the person who is in charge at the United Nations is called the Secretary General. So our greeting, here the word dear, would be followed by the title of the person in charge, who is Secretary General. Then we're going to write our message. So what are we going to write about to the Secretary General of the United Nations? We're going to write about the problem of lack of clean water. And lastly, you're going to write yours sincerely. So this is how you end your letter. So you finish your message, you write yours sincerely, and then you will sign your signature. You will sign your name here. Now, sometimes if you sign your signature, it's difficult to read. So underneath that, you're going to write your name so it's easy to read. So this is the outline of a letter. So let's remind ourselves of what we learned in the last lesson. So in lesson number 6, we learned that water is not available for everyone in the world. And we learned there were 3 reasons. So one of them is water waste. So people waste more water than ever before. Another reason was climate change. And then the last reason we learned about was pollution reducing water quality. So we're going to use this information from lesson number 6 to start writing our letter. So we said that water is not available for everyone in the world. So I'm going to use that in my letter. So I'm going to write my greeting, Dear Secretary General. I am writing this letter because I have learned that clean water is not available for everyone in the world. Then I'm going to carry on my message in the letter with reason number 1 from lesson number 6. So we said that humans waste more water than ever before. More people mean more water is used for sewage, cleaning, construction, and manufacturing. So here it will go in my letter. So the world population has increased to 8 billion. Remember, we learned that there are more and more people in the world today. So today's humans waste more water than ever before, and more people mean more water is used for sewage, cleaning, construction, and manufacturing. Then I'm going to look at reason number 2. So we said climate change results in some places becoming wetter and others becoming drier, which can both result in clean water shortage. So I could say here, in addition, climate change results in some places becoming wetter and others becoming drier, which can both result in clean water shortage. Now have a look at the beginning of this sentence. What are the 2 words? In addition. This is what is known as a transition. So this is a transition phrase. It connects the former sentence with the sentence here. Let's move on to reason number 3. So we said water, air, and land pollution reduce water quality, which means less clean water is available. Together with this, water, air, and land pollution reduce water quality, which means less clean water is available. Again, look at the beginning of this sentence. What do you think these 3 words are? Together with this. That's right. This is another transition. This is a transition phrase that connects the last sentence with this sentence right here. So, at the beginning of this lesson, we learned that United Nations has 193 member states and can take action on problems in the world. So, if it can take action on problems, it can find a solution. And what do we want the United Nations to find a solution to? Lack of access to clean water. So let's look at how we can end our message in our letter. Mr. Secretary General, what is the United Nations doing to take action on the problem of lack of access to clean water for many people in the world? So this is a question. What are they doing? What are they going to do to solve the problem? This is a problem that must be solved. Then we're going to end the letter yours sincerely, and then you would sign your name and then underneath that write your name. So let's go back to our outcome for today. Did you apply your knowledge of water scarcity? Yes, you did. And what did you use that knowledge to do? You wrote a letter to the UN. And why did you write a letter to the UN? Requesting access to clean water. Great job. So now what you should do is take a piece of paper or write an email and write a letter to the Secretary General of the United Nations asking that the United Nations solves the problem of water scarcity so that all people in the world have access to clean water. Great job. I'll see you next time. Bye.